Every dance step paints a story in your body that your brain no longer remembers. You think you're just moving, but something deeper begins when your legs start circling. Without you realizing it, your spine awakens memories, your pelvis draws ancient maps, and your soul listens. For the dance that arises from the center of your body is not a performance. It's a forgotten language. There's a silent region in your body that contains everything you've tried to forget. It contains unprocessed traumas, suppressed desires, and truths your brain could never translate. And that's exactly where liberation begins. No matter how many techniques you learn, if your body is locked, no practice can break through your invisible armor. But there is an ancient way that breaks through this barrier without words. All cultures knew this before you were born. They used dance for healing, incantation, and transformation. And not just any dance, but one that begins in the chest, spirals with the legs, and releases what the heart couldn't summon. This wisdom has been banished, distorted, and ridiculed. Because when you become the center of your body, you also become the center of your history. And those who remember their origins rarely accept a vibrant life. That's why this video isn't about techniques or choreography. It's about remembering through the body. It's about allowing the silent dance of the sacrum to restore what has been forgotten. There's something your body knows, but you've learned to ignore it. Something that pulsates far below reason, long before language. An ancient code vibrating at the core of your body, and it's only activated when you dance. It's not performance dance, nor is it aesthetic. It's a dance that can't be choreographed because it's never been fully seen. It was completely palpable. What the ancients called sacred dance was not a spectacle. It was spiritual medicine. In this way, bodies made invisible forces disappear and recognized inner realities. Egyptians danced in spirals before the goddesses of pleasure and fertility. African women prepared their bodies for childbirth and transitioned through foot rotation. The princes of the East evoked altered states of consciousness by silencing their breasts. This wisdom has not been forgotten by chance. It was false, for it liberates. For those who move consciously begin to remember, and those who remember do not submit. The truth is that an intelligence is trapped in their feet, a creative force that doesn't depend on positive or mental thoughts. It's based on movement, relaxation, and returning to the body. You can diffuse old emotions, awaken your creativity, and restore your zest for life. And you don't need years of study for that. You just have to tell your body what your mind couldn't process. Here's the promise. If you walk through this dance with presence, you will reclaim parts of yourself that were hidden beneath the weight of silence. And you will discover that true rebirth doesn't come from outside. It begins with routine. In ancient times, before temples were built of stone, rituals took place in the body. Dance was the sanctuary in motion, and the legs were the altar upon which life energy was summoned, directed, and transformed. In the mystery schools of ancient Egypt, movement was not something external. It was living geometry, a sacred spiral, a vibrational map inscribed within the body. The princes of Isis rotated their legs in perfect circles, thus invoking the principle of creation. It wasn't art, but embedded cosmogony. The Hermetic wisdom associated with Thoth taught that everything in the universe moves in rhythms. But few understood that this principle applied not only to the stars, it also applied to the blood, legs, and body. When moved consciously, it became an extension of the law. In Vedic tradition, the sacred chakra Svadhisthana represents the inner ocean, the water of being, the emotional field in which creative desire and life force lie. Moving the legs meant stirring this water, releasing trapped emotions, frozen memories, and dormant visions. In many cultures, the circular movement of the pelvis was considered a form of prayer. In Afro-diasporic dances like candomblé, the movement of the hair not only invoked the orishas, but also activated the body to the frequency of the being. The dancer disappeared and the spirit took over the space. All of this was systematically distorted, concealed, or profaned. The body is controlled, dance is sexualized, the sacred is replaced by spectacle. but the lines are still there, inscribed on the body, waiting to be read again. And maybe, just maybe, that's why something awakens when you dance with the truth. As if an ancient language were trying to awaken to life again. And perhaps that is indeed the case. What ancient traditions sensed through the body, modern science is now beginning to corroborate with data. One of the central points of this convergence is the autonomic nervous system, specifically the vagus nerve. Research by neuroscientist Stephen Porges, founder of the polyvagal theory, shows that a person's emotional state and sense of security are significantly influenced by this nerve. The vagus nerve runs through the neck, heart, diaphragm, skin, and internal organs. And one of the most sensitive access points is the leg region. When you move the skin in patterns, waves, or spirals, you activate the deep-seated mechanordic sensors, body sensors that send signals directly to the brain, reducing alertness and promoting deep relaxation. This relaxation allows for the processing and release of stored traumas without the need for words. This process is supported by studies in somatic neuroscience and bioenergetics. They show that spontaneous naked movement can reconfigure chronic emotional patterns, improve hormone regulation, and restore psychophysical vitality. In practice, this means that consciously rotating the legs is not merely symbolic. It has neurological, chemical, and therapeutic effects. It is literally a way to rewrite the body's response to life. And when you understand that, you realize that dancing isn't about going backward. It's about evolving into a state where body, emotions, and presence come back into alignment. None of this makes sense if it remains only in the realm of knowledge, since this truth is communicated through the body rather than the mind. Transformation begins with a simple but crucial step: recognizing rigidity. It is not only physical but also energetic. It's the invisible tension you've now normalized. That quiet tightness in your legs that never fully subsides. The subtle discomfort of existing detached from yourself. The first movement doesn't require technique, but rather presence. Lie down on the floor, place your feet in space, close your eyes, and breathe. Not to seek stillness, but to perceive what is blocked. Let the air touch your chest, glide into your sacrum, and awaken the forgotten center. Then comes the second step. Give your body a voice through intuitive gestures. The form is not important. The impulse is. Bring your feet into a slow spiral motion, as if you were tapping out the beat with your bones. Move forward, backward, sideways, as if translating something unnamed. It's not about dancing beautifully. It's about breaking through the invisible armor you've been forced to wear. Gradually, your body reacts, calm sets in, and your mind slows down. Something inside you vibrates differently. It's the vibratory field that's reorganizing itself. These first two steps create the portal, a first opening for the body, to remember that it is a marriage, not a prison, that it is a language, not noise. This is a temple, not just material. After the body has opened the first hole, it's time to deepen the somatic ear. Because what comes next has nothing to do with movement. It's about deciphering what the movement reveals. As you repeat the spirals with your eyes closed and your bones in alignment, you begin to sense patterns, specific tensions on one side, subtle discomforts on the other. Small signals from the body tell stories the mind never recorded. Now it's time to incorporate breathing as a catalyst in the process. Breathe deeply as you rotate your feet in one direction. Exhale as you turn to the other side. Feel the rainbow space where tranquility once reigned. This rhythm creates what ancient traditions call lucid trance, an altered state of consciousness in which the mind relinquishes control and the body accesses the information encoded in the cellular field. At this moment, you can visualize a yellow or orange light around the sacrum. Imagine this light rotating with each rotation, activating forgotten threads in your vibrational field. You don't have to understand, you have to feel. Over time, emotions can arise. Sadness, quarantine, tears, inexplicable sensations. This isn't a side effect. This is a reaction. The nervous system releases memories naturally and freely. This is your body processing, integrating, and transcending. Stay in this cycle for 5 to 10 minutes. No pressure, no goals, no pressure from yourself. The inner dance doesn't seek achievement. It seeks truth. At the end, rest again and recognize something has changed. And even if you can't explain it, you're no longer the same person. The third and final step isn't about doing more. It's about allowing the new vibration. Because once the portal opens, the body needs to feel safe to stay there. This is where the process of vibrational anchoring begins. You aren't just someone who has moved. You are someone who has created a new frequency of existence with your own body. Take a moment of active stillness for this. Sit or stand with your eyes closed. Rest your legs, but focus your attention on this area. Imagine a yellow spiral pulsing in this area, like a body of living energy. This image is not symbolic. It creates a field. When the body focuses on a region with intention and image, its neurochemical pattern changes. This is vibrational plasticity. It is energetic reprogramming in real time. In this state, begin to internally affirm simple yet profound codes. I switch off my body. My energy is sacred. My center is creative. These sentences aren't empty statements. They are commands that pass through the rational mind and unite with the vibrational fabric of your being. And with a ritual gesture, place both hands on your sacrum. Take 3 deep breaths. As you exhale, imagine your waistline in all that has been released, integrated and activated. You don't have to understand everything that happened. You just have to sense that something true has awakened. And from now on, you carry this code within you. He lives within you and dances with you. James didn't look for answers. He avoided questions, not because he didn't want to know, but because he had learned early on that this feeling was dangerous. He knew how to control his voice and modulate his tone. He kept his gaze steady, but his body, which he had kept silent for decades, remained silent until the day he entered a place where no one spoke. They only listened, not with their ears, but with their chests, with their skin, with their bones. There, no one asked him to dance. The music started, and something stirred inside him before he decided to move. It wasn't a decision. It was a connection, as if the body, ignored for so long, had finally decided to act on its own. The first turn of his feet was subtle, almost invisible, but inside he felt as if all the tectonic plates were shifting. Memories surpassed one another, not as images but as sensations. The hook in the stomach of childhood, the tension in the neck of suffering, the scream, the nightmare in his feet from the days when he wanted to run away, remained. It grew without warning, and he allowed it. He turned his feet again, more slowly, more deliberately, and something opened. It wasn't pain. It was an ancient calm, a forgotten power. The soul returned to the body. The next day, James didn't talk about how he felt, but his feet carried a different weight, as if the earth recognized him for the first time, and he finally recognized himself. Since then, he no longer dances to escape. He dances to remember, for it has found a home at the center of its rotation, and every time it rotates, it returns. There is a point where many have stopped, and that's not due to a lack of willpower. It's because when the feet start moving, shame arises before healing occurs. Body shame. Shame about pleasure. Shame about feeling something that can't be logically explained. At this point, cultural conditioning screams louder than the soul. Remember what they said? Don't move like that. It's inappropriate. It's not for serious people. And without realizing it, you shut down your body to survive. But now you're no longer surviving. You're awakening. And this initial discomfort is a symptom that your accreditation system is falling apart. You have to understand that. The shame isn't yours. It was installed, inherited, reinforced. It doesn't protect you. It limits you. The transformation begins when you feel this shame, and she dances anyway. Not to penetrate, but to release the code she's trying to hide. Use the technique of small gestures. Move your feet in almost imperceptible circles, in a safe place where no one is watching. Close your eyes, breathe, and say it to yourself. I owe this shame nothing. I'm returning to my body. Every minute, every day, until what once felt foreign becomes familiar. And what was once embarrassing reveals itself as empowering. You don't have to become someone else. You just have to stop fighting what you already are. You saw that it was never just about dancing. It was about coming back. Back to a place that was never physical, but always yours. a sacred place at the center of your body, your energy pulses, your living memories, your forgotten identity. This video didn't offer technology. It offered a portal. And to pass through that portal, you need talent. No prior knowledge is required. It takes courage to face the truth. It requires the willingness to trust that the body knows before the mind understands. With each circle, your feet break. The tension is released. A story is restored. A code is reactivated. There, between feet and muscles, time passes, and the present connects with what once seemed lost. For the body has never forgotten. It was only waiting for the right moment to speak. And he doesn't speak with words. He speaks with gestures, calmly, with vibration. Therefore, from this moment on, dance can no longer be viewed as something external. It is your prayer in motion. It is your most honest language. It is your past, present, and future trying to unite in a single phrase. And Thich Nhat once wrote, "Feeling at home is the greatest reward of all." Knowledge can be sought everywhere. But as long as you don't completely disable your body, you'll always feel a little lost. It's not enlightenment you've lost. It's not the light. It's the earth. Now you know. The path doesn't lead upward. It leads inward. And in the center, which revolves, lives true awakening. The soul doesn't enter the body to be forgotten. It dances to be remembered. If this video touched you deeply, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. This strengthens our mission to remind the world of what the body has never forgotten. I'd love to hear how you experience this reconnection. Write in the comments, "My body remembers why my soul came to dance." This sentence seals your commitment to the truth that pulses within you. Share this video with someone who needs to break out of the invisible prison of silence. Sometimes a single twist is enough to make the soul grow again. And don't stop there. Click on the screen and guess another transformative video from the channel. Each new dance reveals a new layer of your being. Remember, a body that moves consciously doesn't repeat steps. He redirects targets.